Self-awareness is a superpower. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. This video is about the planet Venus. And when you think about the sun as the king, and then think about Mercury. Mercury is a planet of communication, so that's like the king's voice, the king's messenger. That's who gets the messages back and forth from the king. So it's like after the voice, then it's the values, which is Venus. And Venus in our chart represents love, relationships, money, and all those things that, aspire us to get up every day and work hard or even get together with others. So Venus rules over Taurus and Libra. Taurus representing our financial structure and Libra representing our relationship and how we relate to others. So just looking at the signs that Venus rules over gives you a good idea of the things that Venus represents. Your Venus will give you a good idea of the kind of people, places, and things that you find beautiful. Venus will also give you an idea of your relationship with money. How do you relate to money? How do you spend your money? And basically, what do you spend your money on? Because again, Venus rules money. Venus will also show how you treat people or how you respond to people or how you want to be treated by people. Venus will also show you your love languages, how you like to give love. Of course, our moon sign shows how we like to be nurtured, but I feel like Venus also shows how you like to give love and how you like to receive love. Because love, like the way how we give value and receive value, I don't feel like that's something that we can compromise within ourselves. And I've had plenty of discussions with other people who feel like, basically you can compromise your love language. And I really don't believe that's so, because I feel like, the way how we show appreciation, for me, love means appreciation, something that is constantly growing and gaining value. So when you're in love with someone, you're constantly seeing value in them. And when you are out of love with someone, that increase of value is no longer growing. Yes, you see value in them, but that value isn't growing the way it was when you was in love with that person. So yeah, Venus. So basically with the love language thing, some people believe that you can compromise your love language, and I don't believe that's true. I believe that is who you are. Say, for example, your love language might be quality time. You have Venus in Cancer or Pisces, and your love language is quality time. And basically, you're with someone whose love language is words of affirmation. That's what they need to feel loved. But at the same time, quality time might not be important for them because they like to actually give gifts. So basically, with that person you're in love with, they can be in a relationship with someone that's long distance because, as long as you're shooting them that text or picking up the phone and making that phone call and giving them that word of affirmation, like as long as you're doing that, they feel loved. And in return, they like to give gifts. They like the way it makes them feel to put effort into giving a good gift. And I feel like, the time and effort that goes into giving a good gift is a part of quality time because you're spending time on that person. But the person who needs to receive quality time as their love language, I believe, will suffer in a relationship with someone who doesn't share that same love language, because if affirmation is enough for that person and you need quality time, that person might feel suffocated in the process of compromising and giving you what you need. And if you're an empath or someone who is extremely sensitive to energy, you might be able to pick up on the fact that your partner is out of their element giving you the quality time. So because of that, it might not feel good getting it because it feels like you're forcing them to do something that they don't want to do. So that's how Venus can represent like your love language within your chart, how you like to be loved, how you like to give love, you know. And like I said, your relationship with money, your relationship with beauty. What do you find beautiful? How do you like to be beautiful? What do you find beautiful in other people, in the world, in situations and things like that? You know, what are the values and the foundation that you stand on, that you build your foundation on? What is your core value? So all of that is Venus in your natal chart. Friday is the day of the week that is ruled by Venus. And if you observe like how Fridays normally go, it's like that's the day of the week that we often look to please ourselves, whether it's eating our favorite meals, you know, getting up and having happy hour or socializing with friends. But overall, Friday is the day that is ruled by Venus. So observe yourself on Fridays. Venus in our chart shows how we flirt with others. It shows how we give attention to the people that we like say, for example, you have Venus in Virgo, and having Venus in Virgo, like you're not going to be outwardly flirtatious. You probably come off a little bit shy. And that may also depend on the other strong placements in your chart. But for the most part, just focusing on Venus in Virgo, you know, the way how someone who you're interested is going to know that you're interested in them is by you making an effort to try to add value to their lives. And that might be through, you know, what appears to them as criticism, but to you, that's you sharing your ideas, your advice, and how to better their lives. You know, where, say, Gemini, Venus in Gemini, the way they flirt might be a little bit more obvious that someone is actually flirting with you, you know, because that's air, it's more open and it's more free, where, you know, Virgo being earth, you know, it could be a little bit shy, it could be a little bit subtle, and it might be hard to just tell that that person is flirting with you because, you know, the earth element is so solid. It's just not going to be as obvious, where that earth element, Virgo or say Capricorn, might actually really, 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 really like you, but it's so hard to tell, you know, because the way they show it. But just know them showing up, continuing to show up and give you attention is their way of letting you know that they like you. So yeah, Venus will show how a person flirts or even lets you know that they're interested in you. They say within a man's natal chart is Venus represents his wife, you know, what he values in a woman. And just in our natal charts overall, Venus represents those things that are important to us, things that brings us pleasure. And I find personally that just by looking at a person's Venus, I can get a good idea of our compatibility. Of course, a lot of other things factor in, but the things that we value are extremely important because, you know, that's a part of the foundation as far as what drives us and what motivates us. No, it's not like Mars energy, which is the fuel that causes us to like take action, but it's that thing that basically brings us joy, brings us peace, you know, and brings us pleasure. So yeah, when I think about Venus, I think about the number 2 energy in numerology and how the number 2 energy is a feminine energy. The number 2 energy is an introverted energy. The number 2 energy, similar to like Libra energy, is an energy that's unifying. Basically, the number 1 energy is the beginning, it's creative, and it's masculine. Masculine meaning it's energetic, it's direct, and it's outward moving, where the number 2 is feminine and it's inward. You know, Taurus is a feminine sign. Libra is actually masculine because it's, you know, action oriented, it's energy moving outward, you know, basically having to do with relating to others. And similar to Libra, the number 2 energy is a bridge builder. Basically, it keeps connections to people. And I feel like Venus energy is like that. You know, Venus at its core, Venus by itself, you know, it's charming, it's kind, you know, manners are important. Basically, etiquette is important. The way we carry ourselves is important. Beauty is important. Presentation is important. And with all that being said, you know, all that plays a part in the way that we value ourselves, the way that we value things, and the way that we value each other. So within your natal chart, you can get a good idea of what it is that you value in life. What are those things that are extremely important to you? What are the things that you are willing to make sacrifices for? Our values can be so different that it makes it extremely hard for us to be friends. And then values could be so similar that it's like we're inseparable. To put a link in the description box below so that you can find your Venus if you don't know where your Venus is. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.